Howdy, this is Matthew Ford, the Digital Cowboy. Today I'm going to show you all how to set up your image planes for 3ds Max. We're going to use these image planes to later model a 1981 DeLorean from Back to the Future. So it's a classic, and it's a great automobile for beginners to learn on, and understanding form and shape, and controlling your surface smoothing and everything. So, and understanding edge flow, flow zones, and such. But before you model anything like that, you want to be accurate. So you want to um, model something from image planes, like a front view, side view, top view. This will ensure that everything stays aligned and everything just matches up. So, you don't want a DeLorean that's as tall as a double-decker bus, or so forth. So what we are gonna do here is first we're gonna start off with the project file that I have. I have a project file here. Uh, it's a 3ds Max project file that I created, and if you don't understand local uh, and relative file paths, I have another video on that, so you will see me doing that in this though. So here is the folder that I'm going to provide, and I have underseen assets, images. We're going to create some viewports. These are some old archived ones, so I can show you what these look like. These are the original ones. I'm going to make some more detailed ones, but side view, top view, front view, and I have also collected an assortment of reference images. So if you're gonna model something, guys, get some reference images. Go online, Google search. It's all right there. I have in here wireframe models that other modelers have done, blueprints, various different blueprints. This one here is very similar to one I'm using. Um, and actual photo references, so you understand what the body looks like, color, how does light hit it, what is the shape and form of it. Here's some great models that other artists have done with Back to the Future. So I collect all these whenever I'm researching something. This one's beautiful, the detail on that. This is the level that we are going to be modeling right here. This is it right here. And some other various examples and renders and wireframes, renders, and so forth. So we're going to begin with, in your image, under images here, there's a DeLorean blueprint PSD. We're going to open that up. In it, I have the layer. I made a custom blueprint based off of 2, which is that right there, Ford-M. And it's a PNG file. And I laid it out here with guides in Photoshop, lining things up, because we're going to need these guides. And you can tell I already did the work for you, but whenever you look and you get blueprints or whatnot, you're going to want to make sure the views match up, the front, the top, the sides. Make sure the scaling of them are the same. So there are times you might have to do some Photoshop magic, which I'm a nice guy, and under this DeLorean references here, there's a PSD file. You can open it up and see how I made it. But here we go. So we have that. Now we need to make these image planes. Now, they don't have to be these size, but let's get started. What you want to do is you start off with the largest one first, because we're going to create another Photoshop file based that each one of these is going to be on a separate layer. And we're going to have an overall size of that Photoshop file, the canvas size, and that's going to be the basis for our image planes. So I'm going to grab the rectangular marquee and make sure your snaps are on. So, if you don't know what that is in Photoshop by now, there it is under View, Snap. Make sure that's checked. And snap to it. So, with that snapped, also, nice little thing I did here for everybody. This layer is set to multiply. So if you want, you can change the color to whatever your eyes like. Whatever, people have different light sensitivities. I do. Too much, that's too much for my eyes. So I like a little gray, or I could even put a little blue in there if I wish. Just something that would be easier on my eyes. So it's all up to you guys. I like it a little darker. All right. So I'm going to create these. I'm going to, with that selected, edit, copy merged, or Shift Control C. So Shift Control C, and then go to File, New. We're going to create the new file from that Photoshop from the clipboard. And we can name it DeLorean underscore views. I already have one made. I'm going to overwrite it though. The other thing I'm going to do is, since that's the biggest one, look at that size. Look at that, 673 by 318. One of the things I like to do is work efficiently. If I've got to find the center point of this image plane or of this Photoshop file, because I need to scale, do some rotations, any kind of transformations, it's just easier to make the math easier. I'm going to go ahead and make the canvas size bigger here. I can say 700 by 400. I can say 800 by 400. So you get my point. I like nice even numbers, 8s, 4s. Hey, I'm gonna make these in the hundreds. If I got to divide this in half, I know it's 400, or I know it's 200, so forth. Hey, whatever works for you, whatever system you and your team decide on, that's fine. But you just work efficiently. Okay, so I'm going to say 800 by 400. I like that. I'm going to say create. All right, so I got a new Photoshop file here. I know it's bigger than what I copied onto my clipboard, so I know it's going to fit in there. So, you know, make sure you write your sizes down, keep track of what you're doing. You know, that's what I'm doing right now. Yippee-ki-yay. Now, bring in guides to find the center. That way, when you paste in here, everything will snap to the center. See, they're snapping. See, I can grab the move tool here. See it? It'll snap. Boom. That's dead center. So now I can say Control V. There it is. Dead center from what I selected right here. Now let's do it for the rest. Let's grab that marquee tool. Let's do the next one up. Here's a car for the side. Shift Control C. Control V, paste. No. There it is. And they match up. You know, everything's matching up. That's what you want to keep. Keep your scales that you worked so hard for here. Shift Control C. Control V. Saying it's creating a new layer for each one. Let's do this one. Shift Control C. Control V. And there they are. And I'm going to name these. So, view underscore rear. And you notice I use camel script. Front. That should be the front. View underscore side. And it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter if it's left or front, passenger or driver's side. We can get the asymmetrical details later if we want to do some kind of advanced modeling. And this one's going to be view underscore top. And the reason I use camel script, you'll hear me in other videos, it's universally accepted. Let's do a file save. File, save, and DeLorean views. There's the other one. I'll overwrite it. Yes. Okay. So there they are. Now, if you don't like, you know, the gray on the white and all that kind of stuff, well, very easily you can turn on all your layers here, select them all, change the blend mode to multiply, turn them off one at a time, and you can create another solid color fill right here. I like putting that above my background. That way I can always change my color on the fly. So it is a little darker because that was dark. If you want, I could have made all these white, done the same thing. Shift Control C. Come back here. Here's the top. Control V. Psh. Yeah, I could have undone and pasted in there, but oh well. Multiply. Now it blends perfectly in. So, it just depends on how you want to set her up. Okay, now here we are at multiply. I changed background over here. So when I brought them over, I just left that white. All right, so now I made all those from these. Now we need to turn these into our image planes. What do you want to see when you're looking in 3ds Max? All right, like that's white. So I can make this a little lighter. It doesn't have to be that. There we go. I think that's nice. All right, that ain't gonna hurt my eyes. It's whatever's your eyes are comfortable with, guys. All right, so now look at our image size. Nice even numbers, 800 by 400. This is centered. If I turn on these guys, though, they're centered, but ideally, when I'm in 3ds Max or I'm wanting to move around an image plane, these are going to be upright. These are your sides, your front, your rear. They're upright. So they're vertical. What we need to do, what I like to do, is make sure that my anchor point, my pivot point in 3ds Max or wherever, is down here, so that when I scale, rotate these image planes if I need to, it's from the ground up, from their base. This makes it hard for me to put this on the ground plane in 3ds Max. I gotta eyeball it now. So I'm just going to select all three of these and move them on down. And if you're afraid of moving left or right, see how it's snapping? I got snaps on. But hold down your shift key and that will help guide your hand and keep you going straight down until it snaps. Boom. There we go. And hit File Save in case we crash. Okay, so I moved everything down to the base. Now what we need to do is one at a time, starting with the top here, save them off. Now you will notice the top is totally different than the others, but the detail on them is enough to get what we need. I couldn't, that original didn't have a top view. So anyway, let's get back on track here. We're going to save these off. Now, before I save them off, you can do a couple things over here in the original. If you notice, there's a little hidden layer group here called lines. If you turn it on, I drew out some lines. All I did was grab the brush tool, real small, and if you zoom in, I've got a couple points where here, these are poles. They're a type of vertice. I'll explain that in the modeling video. But I planned this out ahead of time. Plan out your stuff. I just tried to figure out where's going to be edge loops and everything else. So where are going to be hard edge lines? So this surface is going to be more smooth. This is a hard edge line here. These are all going to be smooth together. I planned this out. You will see how this plays out when I show you how to model this. So that's just what I like to do. You can do that if, I advise it. If you're going to model something, plan it out. And I was looking at the reference images too. So I can hide this now. Unselect this. We're done with this. I can file, save. I can close it out. See, save this. You might need to come in and correct an error. All right. Your boss, your client, whoever, oh, there's a mistake in this and you have to come back. Do you want to redo all this? No. Why? So save your original stuff. Here's this. Now, we are going to make image planes. Let's start with the first one. I'm going to File, Save As, change this to a PNG. This is my top. I'm just going to replace these. View underscore top, PNG. Save. Yes, I'm going to replace it. Largest file size, sure. Hey, go big or go home. Next, side. Now look at the height on this, this. Do we need all this? No, we don't. That top view is going to be on the ground. We're going to be using that to look down when we look from the top of the viewport. These, the sides, the fronts, we're going to be looking at in perspective view, side, the front, and so forth. We don't need all this. So what I can do is go into Image, Canvas Size, and I'm going to chop off the top. Look at that, the halfway point. No hard math, 200. Now I don't want it to chop going from the center because then I'll lose all this. I'll have to move stuff up. Why do that? I want to do it from right here, center of the anchor point of the bottom of the plane right there. Say OK. Proceed. Oh, perfect. File, Save As, PNG. This is my side view. So type in view underscore side. I put view as the prefix so that they can be listed alphabetically in 3ds Max or any kind of file management right here. Make it easy to find. Come on, name your stuff logically. If I labeled it side view, top view, front view, and then I had like maybe 30 other files in here, well, V, or got a R, an F, a T, an S, they're going to be scattered. I have to hunt for them. Just see, plan it out. So view side, save. Yes, I know it exists. Go big or go home. Yes. Next. Now, the same as before. These two. Do we need all that width? Do we need all that meat on the side? No, we don't. And I can tell that's going to fit. We can take it in half. So, image, canvas size. We're going to affect the width now. We're going to chop this in half. It's going to be a total of 400 pixels. So it'd be 200 on each side. We're going to do the same with the base at the anchor, the anchor point at the base here. Say OK. Proceed, chop. Now, file, save as, PNG, view, underscore front, save, yes. Large file size, yes. And so you know, they are over here. They are being saved. That's the old. This is that new one I saved. Say 400 by 200. Oh, the math on that. Easy schmeezy. All right. Next is the top or the rear. File, save as, PNG, rear. I'm going to overwrite mine. Save. You would type yours in and just hit save. Large file size. Okay. Now, I just chopped all this up. What about my poor top view? Oh no, what if I got to come back to this? Well, under Window, there's History. It was right over here. If I go into my history, I can go back to the point in time when I first chopped off and cropped my canvas size here. So there was a canvas size, save as, canvas size, change as, save as. I did some blend changes here. Modified the color fill. I moved those. That's good. So I'm going to delete it right to there. So all is well. We are back to where we were. Or you could have just hit Control Alt Z until it backed away. I just like to see where everything was, and you should know how to use the history in Photoshop. Alright, so I'm done with this. File, save it, and we can close out Photoshop. We're done. So now I have my views in here. There's a one, there's that, there's what, there's that, and that. Pretty nice. So we got all four. So now what we're going to do is put these as image planes into 3ds Max.